Good morning, everybody. So I just slept in my truck last night at the boat ramp. Long story short, I had a 2-week break between my bass tournaments. So I drove 22 hours to get to this area to chase the elusive tiger muskie. Man, was I in for a shock when I got here. I'd like to think that my musky skills are pretty superior. However, I had never fished a body of water like this. I swear there was like one contour line. It was all sand, just really, really tough to figure these fish out. It was a bad moon phase. I spent the first 3 days unsuccessful. The first day I spent 14 hours just graphing. Put my rods up and just graphed, covered 20 plus miles, trying to figure out what these fish were relating to. Long story short, no success. Then finally, I took the weekend off, came back out on Monday with the new moon coming and some storms. The fish were fired up. I went to an area that had suspended bait, and I finally connected with my first big tiger. Finally got one. Oh my gosh. That was the accumulation of 3 super long days on the water. Peak major right now. It's earlier in the morning. I just went over a point and grabbed some bait. So I was throwing a 22 short crankbait, and that fish just smoked it. Of course, my GoPro wasn't running. It's been cutting out saying SD card error. But I'm gonna hopefully check on that, and let's see if we can't put another one in the boat. God, that was a beautiful fish. Let's do it again. Oh, got another one. Right at the boat. Oh, beautiful fish, goodness. Okay, let's get this thing out of the whole net, get a quick picture. Ended up putting 3 fish in the boat that day. It was a pretty spectacular day. I lost a giant yesterday. Today is the one day before the new moon. I have all day to be out here. The temperature is cool. It's overcast. I'm going to have some scattered thunderstorms. So I'm going to go out and see if I can't put my personal best tiger in the boat. All right, guys. So it's about 6:10 in the morning. I don't have a major coming up until about 10. So I just got out here. I'm gonna get to a couple of the spots where I had some success. I'm gonna troll along the bank on the way there. What I'm gonna troll is a little Lungin 22 short crankbait. I honestly just switched the hooks out because I lost 3 fish on this the other day. So I swapped hooks out, see if it makes a difference. I'm throwing it on my 7.6 heavy moderate Shimano Sage rod. This rod is awesome for those smaller musky crankbaits, smaller twitch baits. It has a nice parabolic bend, so with those smaller crankbaits and treble hook baits, the fish stay stuck a little bit better, a little more forgiving. Have it with the Shimano 301 Tranks. I love this size reel for throwing these baits. It's a workhorse, brings in a lot of line. It's perfect for smaller crankbaits. So I'm gonna troll. Nice thing about having a pedal drive kayak is you have the ability to troll. This lake is pretty big, so I'm gonna troll to my spots, and we're gonna see if we can't pick up a fish or 2 along the way. Water is nice and cool. It's gonna be a beautiful day. The storm should roll in later in the afternoon. So, just found this guy on the surface. This is what those fish are eating. Looks like someone used him for live bait. There's a puncture wound right through the top where they usually will circle hook these fish. Man, I'm not a huge fan of fishing live bait for muskie. Just not. But it is, teach their own, it is what it is. But this is what they're eating. When I'm burning blades, I've got giant schools of these size perch coming after. So that's why my 22 short was kind of my go-to there. About the same size. I've got it in crappie color right now. I was throwing perch also, but they seem to really want the crappie color. Okay, so I got to my first spot. Let's do a little casting. Throwing this tandem nut buster on my baby, my St. Croix 8.6 extra heavy Legend Tournament musky rod. And for blades, I like having the 401 high gear. Makes it a lot easier to burn these back. For any type of inlines or arm spinners, I like to have this 401. So it's picking up, I believe, 42 inches per turn or something crazy like that. Makes it a lot easier to bring these baits back. So I like having this longer rod for two reasons. One, I can get a pretty long cast. And two, when I'm in the kayak and I want to get the fish away from the boat and make that big figure eight, I have a really nice reach with this rod. And get a little deeper if I need to. This big willow blade on this spinnerbait has some serious thump. Can't remember if this is I can't remember if this came standard or if I doctored this up a bit. A lot of times with my musky spinnerbaits, I'll change out the blades, different variations, depending on where I'm at and what the fish want. But I think this willow and it looks like a turtle blade were standard on here. This is definitely definitely a different type of vibration. But I like it. I'm gonna try to make as long cast as possible. Give these fish plenty of time to follow that bait. But man, after 5 days of this, all my musky anglers know my shoulders, my lats, my rear delts, they're feeling it. Like I said, this is my last day out here though. So because I don't have a trolling motor, I just get up here and use my shins to move my boat so I can work a bank line. But doing that allows me to work the bank as if I had a trolling motor. Oh. I just graphed one on my side scan. First hit of the day, that came pretty quick. Dang. I've been losing fish on this. It's like I said, treble hooks can be, I mean, this bait can be tough. But I'm almost to my spot where I'm gonna start casting, so I'm gonna keep trolling and man. Well, that's a good sign. They're eating, even before the major. Musky, musky. Oh, I don't know if you guys can see that. There's one. Didn't even follow. Oh, man. Okay, that wasn't a big one. Probably like a 30, low 30s. Well, it's cool to at least see one there. That was casting spot number 1. I saw a muskie. I don't know if it was a follow. I was kind of cruising below my kayak. Not very big, so I'm gonna kick across the lake and check casting spot number 2. I'm gonna troll on the way over there and see if we can't get another hit. Oh. That's another one. That's 3 trolling. Crazy. So I've missed 3 fish now on my crankbait. I'm going to rig up a trailer hook. So lost 3. I don't know, the casting bite isn't on like it was. I've had action trolling on the crankbait, but nothing in the net. So I think it's time for a little bit of on the water lunch break. It's the middle of the day. It's probably gonna rain soon, so I'm gonna eat my gourmet lunch and get back out there. Finger looking good. Let's get back out there. My legs get tired of trolling. I cast. It got pretty rowdy there. My kayak is soaked, but that's the kind of stuff I love. So I've got 4 hours before it gets dark. I've got to put a fish in the boat. So I'm gonna grind hard. My legs are starting to hurt, my body hurts. It's my last day. Gotta give it all I have. So we'll see. Okay, so I just looked at the wind forecast and it's only going to get worse. I'm pretty bummed out, but right now I need to get across the lake and back to the ramp. So it is absolutely wild out there. As much as I want to stay and try to get one, Mother Nature is probably going to win this time. They're calling for 35-mile-an-hour sustained wind, and I'm not totally ready to flip a kayak. At least I got 3 good fish in the boat a couple days ago. First tiger muskie experience. Hopefully you guys got a little glimpse of what muskie fishing is like in the kayak. So I have to get home, get ready for my next big tournament on Lake Ouachita in conjunction with the FLW, so it should be a pretty cool deal. Thank you all for watching, and wish me luck trying to cross the lake and get back to the ramp.